Hi everyone, my name is Junon. I have a health science background, and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy: How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is the romantic compatibility between ENFPs and ISTPs. But before we dive into this topic, I would like to underline something about my book. It is written from a health science point of view. So we'll be looking at the anatomy, physiology, hormones, brainwave dominance, and so forth of the 16 MBTI personality type. So if you're interested in buying it, at least you know what to expect. So let's go back to the topic at hand. What do ENFPs and ISTPs have in common? Obviously, they're both perceivers. So these are people who like a flexible schedule. They feel energized by the unexpected. They're good at thinking on their feet. So they will appreciate that about each other and give each other leeway to actually, again, have that flexibility when it comes to their, planning their lives in general. And also, interesting enough is that although the ENFP is officially an extrovert, but because ENFPs have among the best tendency because it's an intuitive feeler, they will behave more like introverts. So both the ISTP and the ENFP will be able to need to actually to retrieve from crowds to recharge, to be energized. So again, they will understand each other on that level. But obviously, this couple will face a number of challenges. First is that the NFP is an intuitive feeler, so they are right brain dominant, and their focus is on relationships. So they are people oriented, whereas the ISTP is object oriented because they're left brain dominant. So the ENFP is looking for a soulmate. They're looking for someone to really bond, and they tend to be very emotionally intelligent, very sensitive. So these are people who need someone who is warm, affectionate, and very sort of present, and the ISTP may not be able to provide that. And the other aspect also when it comes to the ENFP is that they are very much about spirituality and meaning. So this is the theme of their life, which is not the same with the ISTP, because the ISTP, the theme of their life is movement and freedom. So these are people who really need their space. They're not in very sort of warm and cuddly, so they will feel maybe like that the ENFP is not emotionally independent enough. So that will be a strain in their relationship. The other point also is that their relationship style, the ENFP is the feminine and spontaneous, whereas the ISTP is the masculine and spontaneous. So you'll see the masculine and spontaneous is probably the one that is the least sort of like needy of emotional bond with people they care about, compared to, let's say, someone who's a feminine energy. So the theme when it comes to someone who has a feminine and spontaneous relationship style like the ENFP is about authenticity, whereas when it comes to the ISTP, when it comes to their relationships, it is about accuracy. So they are people who are very much about internal logic. So that will be a challenge. Although interesting enough is that the if you look at the function stack of the ENFP, they have extroverted thinking as their third function, and the ISTP has introverted thinking as their first function. So although they will understand each other logically, but this is not the driving force for the ENFP. So and again, they are people who are very much about being very emotionally present. They're sensitive and so forth. So in a sense, the ISTP will be more fulfilled in that relation than the ENFP, because they will be able to feel understood on the logic side, but the ENFP will probably feel that their needs are not being met by the ISTP. So overall, I think this is a poor match. Again, what they have in common is the fact they're both perceivers, and they're both maybe understand each other logically, and they will both be more like introvert and extroverts, but in a sense, they are not on the same wavelength. One is looking for a soulmate, the other one is looking for someone who just to have fun. So they're looking for a playmate. One is looking for someone to really understand emotionally and really to connect. The theme of their lives is spiritual meaning, and this is not the case for the ISTP. The ISTP, the theme of lives is movement and freedom. They like their space, and they're very much about accuracy and logic more than really being in a relationship long term. And they tend to be like people who are very very independent that way. And the other aspect when it comes to this couple is that they will not actually drain each other in terms of energy, because both the ISTP and the ENFP obviously have good energy, so that will not be an issue. But the fact that they're really not on looking for the same sort of like qualities or characteristics in a mate, that will make it difficult for them to stay together for a long period of time. And what happens is that probably the ENFP, being a feeler, will probably accommodate this relationship longer than the ISTP. So for all these reasons, I would say that this is not a good match. So let me know if you agree or disagree with this compatibility analysis by commenting below. If you like this video, if you learned something, please click on the like button. Also remember to click on the notification bell to be notified of other videos I'm going to be making. Subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.